looking for a way to experience quantum growth in 2024? Lean in just a little bit because you are going to learn just a couple simple strategies in the next few minutes to help you rewrite or write your new upgraded story. And now is the perfect time to be able to go through this. In fact, really quick, some would call this, to a degree, the Hollywood method to create quantum growth in your life. And this is stimulated because, is there a possibility that an old story is keeping you from achieving your goals, that are getting in the way, that are holding you back? The past, history, the past doesn't equal the future, right? It doesn't matter where you've been, it matters where you want to go. I want to walk you through a process that may help you make this the best 12 months of your entire life and remove some of the old stories that might be holding you back right now. So, who's this for? This is for anyone truly looking for a way to experience quantum growth, to get peace of mind, freedom, joy, more growth, more opportunity, and freedom, right? The freedom to be yourself, warts and all, so to speak, as my wife likes to say about me. Part of this stimulated from an interview last week. And someone was describing, hey Dan, what is something you do and have done as a habit and a ritual for years? And I wrote about it in my original book, A Champion in the Making, about 20 some years ago. And it's chapter 23, it's called The Vision. And each year what I do is I'll sit down and I'll rewrite a new story that is for the year. Like what's going to happen. I want to take you through the process very quickly, very easily, that you can apply today that just may transform what you're looking to do in quantum growth, personally, professionally, health, relationships, and a whole lot more. Now, let's go to 100 Thursdays. Have you ever met somebody who's dealing with trauma, health, mental, otherwise? We all have, right? This guy here to my left in this picture, maybe to your right as you're looking at this right now, is my dad. And so a couple years back, my mom passed forward and my dad also got diagnosed with cancer again. And since that time, in about 2 years or so, my dad has had over 130, 140 treatments, radiation, chemo, etc. Now, I don't know how your outlook would be in life, but what I've learned from my dad, Character Building 101, is squeeze the lemon out of life. Every second you get is a gift. Every opportunity is a new day, a new opportunity. The past doesn't equal the future. And my dad's not a complainer. And I get a chance not only to be with my dad every Thursday, 100 plus Thursdays the last 2 years, to enjoy time with him. I've also been able to bring my son, my daughter into the relationship to learn from their grandpa. And again, squeeze the lemon and ask questions about his childhood. Just the other day when we were out together, my dad was sharing, because my son wants to go ski boarding, and my dad shared a story how he was bit-faced, if you know what I mean, being on a mountain with a good friend of his named Gary, and he hit a little hill and he ended up doing a helicopter and ended up face first. I mean, what's that worth? It's priceless. So wherever you're going through, whatever trauma or otherwise, obstacles that might be in the way, again, what we're going to share over the next few minutes is a chance to write a new story, to transform health, relationships, quality of life, and a whole lot more overall. So it's like a little hinge, right? Little hinges make a big difference. And again, a lot of this I've learned over 30 plus years of a lot of coaching, mentoring, investing in myself, being able to work with some of the best in the world, be around like you. And so ideally, this is going to be a simplifier for you in so many different ways. So it also is going to help you get clarity in your life, because there's a big difference, right, between what's important, most important versus most important. Like, what's it worth for me to be able to spend that time and have my son and daughter be able to spend time with their grandpa over the course of this last 2 years, an hour every morning on a Thursday that we do breakfast over in our local area? What's that worth for you to give yourself that safe haven of peace of mind, whatever that might be for you, right? This isn't about my dad and us. This is about you design what this means by purpose, not on accident, not by default. So here's a problem that we all face today, more than ever in the world. And we got a lot of stuff. You've got a lot of stuff coming at you too, don't you? Distraction, conflicting information, too many options, competition, turbulence, ambiguity, shiny objects, uncertainty, volatility, AI, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on, right? The bigger problem is we can get into a comparison game and different types of platforms. We can look at others and, oh, they're so much further ahead. And many times it can erode our confidence, our clarity, our direction. And I want to help pivot you from all of that right here, right now, in just the next few minutes. And on top of comparison is something real for all of us, right? It's trauma, right? Whether it's trauma today, whether it was trauma yesterday, whether it was trauma in our past, we all have it. And, Joe Polish has shared this, I believe it's an AA quote, we're as sick as our secrets. You're as sick as your secrets. And the more we can be vulnerable and get clear and get real about some of those traumatic experiences, it's real to you if it's real to you. I'm not here to put any judgment. I hope that you can lift any kind of judgment you've ever had in your life by that simple idea of you're as sick as your secrets. And you can just be clear on them and realize, some of the things, the challenges, issues, I've got 101 of them. And today I'm so much more comfortable in my skin than I was 20 years ago, 10 years ago. What would happen for you if you could have that comfort to know that, you've had trauma and it's okay. We've all had it. We're all human beings. We're all going through something. Everybody's got something, if you will. So with that in mind, beyond it even deeper, why is it important? Why is this important? I mean, what would it be worth for you to have peace, to have freedom, to be just your best self every minute? My current wife, my marriage, my relationship, the thing people ask frequently is, what do you think your wife does for you? She allows me to be my best self, good parts and all. I don't have to be somebody living in imposter syndrome in business or in life or in health. It is what it is, right? And so what would that be worth to you to have that freedom, to be you at your very best self, right? Take off the mask, take off the armor, take off and lift and be okay with being all right and being, imperfect. The perfection is all of our imperfections. What would that be worth to really own that? Again, I'm going to walk you through a process here to help you be able to do this. Because at the end of the day, however we label these things, sometimes it shows up in shame and guilt, at least in my life. I don't know about you. It's just being real. Shame and guilt and holding back, being like I'm going to hide in the corner at times. Input quality equals output quality, and many times relates to the outcome. Enough is enough. Let's get some new inputs in there. Let's rewrite the new up-leveled story, whatever that is. Even if you're a high performer already, let's go to that even higher level, shall we? So let me walk you through this ritual, because at the end of the day, it's not whether we have a problem, it's how we think about a problem or a trauma or a history or an issue or an obstacle or any of these sorts of things, right? That we want to get solved. It's the thinking behind the thinking. If you run a team, if you run a company, a great question to ask your team is, hey, can you clarify that instead of assuming things? And tell me your thinking behind the thinking of what happened. Many times you'll get new perspective, new insights, new ideas, new perspectives that help you clarify, help you simplify, help you get free from having all these kind of things going on. So it's a shift in thinking. So I want to walk you through the steps to create your new story based on this original book from 20 years ago. It's really about designing a movie of your year and how we've been able to do that. And I pulled out one of my notebooks that I'm going to walk you through here. But here's the simple solution for you that you can apply right here, right now, and then ideally jump into this as soon as possible. Because when is now the best time? I shared that with my young athletes on our foot. When is now the best time to do that? Now, right? So the solution, number one, get clarity on where you're at in this moment and get real about it. Get clarity. Where are you? And think mentally, physically, socially, spiritually, emotionally, financially, relationships, career, business, team, etc. Do a full diagnosis and identify some of those keywords that are popping up, right? Where are you? First progress starts by telling the truth. Then get clarity. Where do you want to go? If you project all of those things, mental, physical, social, spiritual, emotional, financial, career, relationships, health, etc., and you just project 1 year from now, where do you want to go? And just, again, keywords, kind of get an idea. And then what would that mean for you? From an emotional point of view, confidence, clarity, certainty, adventure, variety, fun, freedom. The list goes on and on, right? Having an ability to make a contribution, to make a difference, to be able to connect, to love, to again, whatever it is for you, right? Where do you want to go? And then now is the opportunity to write your new story. So I want to give you some jumping off points to help with this beyond those couple things really quickly with this exercise. And the first is, you can think of it like being a screenwriter. You're writing the movie of your year, this year, right? And this is a great time to do this. Is sit down at this time of year, at this moment, right now, here and now, and write the story of what is coming mentally, physically, socially, spiritually, emotionally, financially, career, health, finances, and business, if that's your jam, right? Because at the end of the day, you know this, you don't need me to say this, but it's an inside out job. And how you see yourself, ultimately, how you and I see ourselves, ultimately, how you see yourself determines our destiny and our bigger future, right? So do you want to up level? Do you want to upgrade health, mental, physical, social, spiritually, emotional? Well, then I encourage you to just simply put a little attention to this, put some time, 10, 15, 20 minutes or whatever it leads to for you to write your new story. And don't be shocked when that story happens and comes true. Because at the end of the day, it's an identity game that we're all playing. And being our best identity of our best self. And we can let go. When I ended up my sports career, for years, I felt like I was waffling in the wind, not really sure what I was going to do, and unsettled, and I felt like a failure and felt like it didn't work out and all these sorts of things. And it was an identity issue. You have an opportunity to rewrite your new story to up-level that identity. Even if you're already at the top of your game, go to another level right here, right now. So here's some jumping off points. Write down 3 to 5 things you're most proud of accomplishing in the last quarter or the last year. Get clear on those. Again, these are jumping off points. Your 3 biggest lessons you've learned in the past year. You could call these mistakes, you could call these issues, challenges you faced, and the lessons you got from, for example, I had knee surgery and it was agonizing for 3 years. I kept putting it off. And then I got the surgery and I was feeling, frankly, very down for months because I wasn't mobile and I wasn't sure, oh my God, did I do the right thing, etc. Doubt creeped in. And now here it is 6+ months later, and I feel like my old self again. What's that worth, right? We all go through some of those things. So what are the 3 lessons you learned? Let's not compare. What are the 3 biggest lessons or 5 lessons or even 10 lessons that you learned this past year? Next, what are the top 3 to 5 focuses you've got for 2024? And I'd encourage you to think of those in categories: mental, physical, social, spiritual, emotional, financial, business, career, health, relationships. Are relationships important? Isn't it funny how so many experts don't talk about quality relationships? So not just your business relationships. Isn't it funny that people can be super connectors in business, but like they can't carry a relationship beyond a superficial thing? Well, you can rewrite that story. The past does not equal the future if you do this and play full out. And I hope you're getting some good value here. So the next one is getting real. What are some of the obstacles that have gotten in the way in those areas? What are the obstacles that are getting in the way or could get in the way as you look to rewrite your upgraded next level story for this next 12 months? So I want to give you a couple examples because, again, this comes right from the archives. I grabbed one of these. I do this every year and a half for about 20 some years. Actually, before I wrote this book over 20 years ago. And so I just want to give you some jumping off points to think about it. It says, hey, Dan, I'm writing this letter December 31st, 2014. Looking back at the great year you've had. So you want to project yourself 1 year from now and write the letter and then describe it. It's been an amazing 12 months as you've experienced growth, mastery, more independence, freedom. So these are emotions, right? Freedom, autonomy, confidence, capabilities, clarity, direction, and leading a life by example in both your business and personal life. In your personal life, you continue to be a great dad, friend, husband, and lover of your wife. T, right? And then it goes through. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but ideally that gives you some jumping off points. This isn't just like business. This is all areas of life. Personal, professional, business, career. And again, this comes out of the book. And by the way, if you actually want to get this book, I'll have my team post a link down below if you want to get it, because it's, again, written over 20 some years ago. The movie, The Vision. And basically, here's Dan's vision. This was written over 20 years ago. I love to inspire, develop, and empower people to live a life of success. I love the fact that we have one of the best financial managers on the planet to mesh everything together effortlessly. Our company has been more prosperous than expected. Our books, programs, and videos have impacted the lives of over 500,000 people. And what's amazing, I wrote this over 20 years ago, and as I read through this, over 90% of the things in this that I wrote at the time have come true. It's powerful. Now, I can't promise these kind of things for you, of course. I'll use a disclaimer here legally. But what I can share with you, if you don't do this, like, I don't know, what's it like being a leaf in a wind? Unsure, unconfident, uncertain, unclear. Well, how great would it be to actually write this out and have your life happen the way you designed it? What would that be worth? Because the truth is, the past does not equal the future. You can write your story right now, here and now. Whatever level you're at, if you're already at the top of your game, I challenge you to go to another level. Go to another level. You can do this. I've seen it so many times before. I'm sure you have too. It's easy to get complacent. It's easy to get comfortable. You know, they say the enemy of excellence is comfort, or getting comfortable, or mediocrity. Yes, yes, and yes. All of those things are true. This is a simple way that literally just by asking yourself the right questions, mapping it out, projecting over the next year in those areas of life, mental, physical, social, spiritual, emotional, financial, business, relationships, and health, your life can transform. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I'm sure you have too. Now is the time to take action with this. How do you do that? Get clarity where you are. You can come back to this, get the questions. Number 2, where do you want to go? Get clarity. Be real about the obstacles and the trauma and the pain and the suffering that you might be experiencing, and get that mapped out. It's going to bring peace of mind when you just get it out in your first progress, telling the truth, and not be afraid of it, not be ashamed of it, not be guilty. We all have it. We all have our warts. Just be okay with it. And now you move through it. And now you get a chance to write your new upgraded story. I encourage you to do so. I hope you're inspired. If you like this, share it with somebody you love, somebody you care about. Many times forget some of the most valuable lessons that have been there, because sometimes when we're brushing our teeth, we don't think how important it is. But this has been for me over the last 20 some years, like brushing my teeth, something that's a ritual, a habit every year. I encourage you to play with it, have fun with it. I'd love to hear your story. So take action, make it a great day, make it a great week, make it a great month, make it a great quarter, make it a great year, and apply what you've gotten here. Because the truth is, little hinges like this really can swing big doors at the end of the day. I want that for you to be your best self. Make it a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
To this episode of growthtofreedom.com. Are you struggling to get a steady flow of new clients every day? Or maybe hit a plateau or hit a wall in growing your business? Well, let's help you solve this problem today. Let's review your business and have a conversation. You can do that for free today at breakthroughstrategycall.com. That's breakthroughstrategycall.com. In addition, if you're looking for a simple way to implement some of what we've been talking about in today's episode, then I want to encourage you to get our free small business toolkit. You can get that at activate.breakthrough3x.com. That's activate.breakthrough3x.com. If you'd like access to the special resources and all the show notes for this special episode, make sure to visit growthtofreedom.com.
Hey, it's Dan Kuschell. Click the buttons over here on the left. You can watch these other couple videos, as well as make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can get access to the latest insights, strategies, and wisdom, giving you more clarity, confidence, and direction for exponential business growth. Hit the button now.